Hey, we're Whiskey Fancies. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kara.
And what do we have today, Kara?
Smoke Wagon.
So we thought we would do a little lineup of their standard offerings that aren't as hard to find as maybe, say, like their private barrels.
Right.
So hopefully this is available in your area where you're at. And if it's not, maybe we can give some suggestions on which one to look for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's hard to talk sometimes, guys.
Life is rough.
It's very rough.
But you know what makes it better?
Whiskey.
That's right.
So what do we have first?
We're going to start with the Smoke Wagon Straight Bourbon Whiskey. It is 46.25.
You got to show the people. We may or may not like this.
And it's mostly me.
Yes, it's mostly you.
That's me.
Yep.
Okay, so Smoke Wagon goes really good with Red Dead Redemption 2 late on a Friday night.
I have a theme going on with all of these whiskeys, just going with Red Dead.
Yeah.
We should figure out what goes well with, like, say, some Lego games.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I wonder if Bourbon Bites has ever paired bourbon and video games before.
I don't know, but it's something to do.
So I always get like a apple on the nose of the first one of the straight bourbon.
I don't know if that's particularly a Smoke Wagon thing or if it's an MGP thing.
That's a good question. I'm not really sure.
We've had some MGP, but not quite a vast amount of MGP.
Right. I always get a nice apple.
Yeah.
On the straight bourbon.
Buffalo Trace sometimes I get an apple with, like a green apple on
on the regular Buffalo Trace. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Approximate MSRP is around $30.
Around $30. Okay. Sometimes you can buy it at $32-ish, but $29.99 is the average price.
That's a fair price.
And you can get it on sale for sometimes as low as $25.
I bet not.
I know. That's if you're lucky. I think that's how I got this. It was on a special.
Yeah, because for $25 it was like...
It's no-brainer.
Yeah, that's a really low entry to some bourbon.
Okay.
I've already tasted it, so go for it.
Besides the apple, it's got that rye spice in the nose.
Yeah.
That you would associate with some rye.
Mm-hmm.
Now that is the thing with Smoke Wagon. Besides being all MGP, they are high rye blends. They're blends.
He does like his rye.
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. It's a solid $30 pour.
Yep.
$30 bottle rather, and I don't see anything wrong with it. Some people, I've seen people kind of knock it a little bit because it's not the other offerings, but I think it's solid and it stands on its own, in my opinion.
I actually prefer that as an everyday pour.
I really like it.
For being very budget friendly for an everyday pour.
I think it's fantastic.
It is kind of on the higher side. Now, when I say higher side, because I'm thinking more of like, Elijah Craig, they can get for $22, $24.
$24.
Yeah.
Some people have to pay $30 for it though.
Yeah.
So
even Evan Williams at $15 is like an amazing steal of a price.
Right.
But I would still pay this double, because that's basically double.
So
this is like 2 Evan Williams bottom blends.
I would go for that still.
It's more complex than Evan Williams, I think. This particular blend.
It's the flavor profile. Okay, so something I would say, like you said, apple before. Buffalo Trace regular has like an apple, not very woody, not spicy. That compared to this, I would go with this, even though. So I can get Buffalo Trace for around 22, 26 in that range. I would still go there.
I don't care for Buffalo Trace so much.
I like
Smoke Wagon so much better.
I like Smoke Wagon over Buffalo Trace. So there you go.
I do too.
What's any last opinion? Otherwise,
it's very drinkable. It is light, a very light mouthfeel. But I mean, we're not here.
Yeah, it doesn't linger.
I think it's gonna be like an $80 bottle.
It's one of those really relaxed everyday pours.
Absolutely.
I don't fault it.
It's definitely got the rye.
Yeah, I think it's really good.
Herbal qualities to it. It's good. I enjoy it.
What's up next?
We have the small batch.
Ooh, what's the proof on that bugger?
I think it's 50. Yeah, it's 50%. These are always 50%. Small batch.
I get more caramel on the nose.
Yeah, this is more sweeter.
Do you get a hint of something tropical, almost like a coconut?
No.
Something different. Okay.
But I wish I was on whatever island you're on.
It's a coconut caramel island over here.
Mm.
It smells really good.
Wow, that kicks you with the rye.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of herbal notes in it, but it also has
It's got the sweet herbal, but it's not that offensive herbal. Does that make sense?
it doesn't kick you in the teeth.
No. There's some ryes where I'm like, that's just way too...
It's a little peppery, but
Mhm.
but it's just the right balance of peppery rye with that caramel on the front.
Yeah.
Is it caramel on the front?
Mhm. It has that sweetness that helps balance it out. I enjoy this too. Now this is MSRP $50
Oh, that's tasty.
Yeah.
I like it.
for $50.
Oh my lord! I can't wait to try the third one.
Mm-hmm.
Is the third one barrel strength? That's uncut, unfiltered.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna kick it up a couple notches in a second. I like this. Wow.
Now we can't remember off the top of our heads because this is just a lot of whiskey to drink at one time. You'll put it in the video. The blends, varying ages.
I'll do my best.
She'll do her best. So if you don't see it, she
my
failed.
Flame Cara. Oh, that's good.
I really like it. I'm just keep going back to
It's
it.
a 50% ABV, but it drinks higher.
It does, but it doesn't.
I think it doesn't. It's not overwhelming. It's not unpleasant.
No.
It doesn't burn, but it has a nice body and has enough spice. I like it.
Yeah.
We don't drink that very often
I don't
because
know why. Because we're always going towards this
I
for
drink
some
that.
reason. I have no idea why.
I think it kind of blends in.
Yeah.
And it gets kind of hidden behind some of the other ones.
Yeah.
And this one is actually an earlier batch, I think, because of the bottle.
Mm-hmm. It is.
He changed glass suppliers. Aaron changed glass suppliers, I think, for a while.
And the new bottle is so much prettier.
And,
more
the new bottle
details.
is very gorgeous. So I think that's another reason why we don't drink this as often, because we know we don't have another one of these.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe I'm just super forgetful. I think it's that one. I'm super forgetful and I forget we have it.
Yeah. The Uncuts we usually will tend to get
Yeah,
back
too.
up just because these vary.
They change a lot.
And,
don't
yeah. And not just ABV, but also the blends that
the
Erin
profile.
chooses. Yeah.
Show
Whatever
me.
mood he's in.
they? I'm gonna try that
Let's do
uncut.
it.
Let's do it.
This one is, I think it's 57.3%. Yes, it is. 57.3. Okay, this is more softer on the
It
nose.
is.
But
Isn't that older? A little older usually.
yes, it's
The
an blend, I
older
believe.
whiskey goes into the uncut, unfiltered.
But I don't smell I haven't smelled oak on either of the noses.
It just doesn't
Right?
smell very proofy, does it?
Very, very proofy.
It doesn't smell it hot.
Aren't you proofy? It smells very well balanced, but no oak. Whereas this was more of a caramel. Oh shit! Guess I gotta get in there. You can't talk about it. Haven't no, don't. Shh. I'm not there yet. Yeah. I remember this. Yeah. It's good. We do have a different batch, we just haven't opened it to do it side by side. But versus all these three, I'm kind of conflicted.
You grab this when you're chilling.
Yeah.
You're not thinking about it.
I would probably grab that just as a starter. Or maybe
I actually do the reverse.
Actually, I was just gonna say, wait a minute, as the last.
I always go high
'Cause it's
proof.
very
I
easy.
start my night higher and then I always go lower.
That kind of
Why? Because I like to get the intensity and the different flavors in the higher proof. And when I've been drinking for a while, I like to go more simple.
But you have to be careful with how simple you go.
Why?
Because
you
depending
drink too
on
much?
no, depending on how much fire and spice you put for a higher proof, and you go too simple, if it's not very nuanced, it's gonna be like watered down.
Okay.
What? It's
Right, but
you can lose the flavor.
specifically here,
You could go back and it won't
it'll be fine.
offense it.
It'll be fine.
It'll be offensive.
Yeah, I've never had. I normally go barrel proof the first or second. Sometimes I go a mid proof bourbon, then a barrel proof, and then I go backwards to like a 50 or a 45.
Yeah.
And that's where I end my night is 45, 46. I don't tend to gravitate towards anything below 45.
What's on this? I can't.
It's delicious, is what's on that.
Why's our dog crying? The one that was...
Someone's jealous of our smoke wagon.
Yeah, he walks around and sounds like a horse. Or he'll just cry because, he's a 65-pound pit bull that just feels like he needs to cry. The song of his people.
Go back and forth between Uncut and Small Batch real quick. They drink very similar on proof.
On the nose, they're not even the same. They're not even related.
But I'm talking about like the proof wise and how hot they drink. They're really close, which is.
I don't know if it's for every Uncut batch because this is the only one we had. I feel like the rye spice
is turned up.
I
think that's on purpose.
If that correlates just because it's a higher ABV, I don't know, or is it just particular batch and blend? See what I'm saying? That makes sense. I could see this holding up right here on its own, though.
If I'm not mistaken,
Because it's got sweet.
Aaron likes to drink this straight. Small batch he will put on a rock during the summer. Is that not correct?
I could see that actually working really well.
Because it still stands up really well to ice.
Yep, I could see that.
And I don't know when he drinks the straight bourbon, but he should because it's fun.
You should go back
it's
to
really
it.
delicious.
You should try your straight. You should.
I can't pick out a favorite. This is my verdict. If you see Smoke Wagon that people have not jacked up secondary prices, buy it.
Yep.
I don't even want to express what I feel about secondary.
No.
Smoke Wagon is awesome. Drink it. If you can get this one, do not listen to the naysayers. I think it's solid bourbon. It's not an entry-level bourbon in my opinion. It's just an easy sipper, very economical, and it's honey, apple.
It's easy sipper, yeah, but it's got nuance to it.
For what it is, it's fantastic. I really don't understand why people poo-poo it. Now, when you start moving up in proofs and exclusivity and more difficult to obtain, are they good? Yes.
Absolutely.
All of the Smoke Wagon products that I've had so far are worth it.
Yeah.
Can I pick my favorite out of the lineup? No, because it depends on why I'm drinking, whom I'm drinking with, and what I'm doing.
I could bring out any one of these bottles with somebody that is a bourbon drinker, and they would like it, even if I didn't tell them what it was. I do think that there's a lot of clout that Smoke Wagon brings to the community where either you're a fanboy or you're not, and I don't understand that. I really don't. It's just, it's good whiskey. It doesn't matter where it's come from, and Aaron, the distiller, he knows what he's doing when he blends these batches.
He's got a really good palate.
They're very tasty. Now, what some of these barrels might taste just on a standard, maybe production and not doing a blending of different years for flavors, you don't know.
No.
So
I highly recommend them.
I do highly recommend them.
I think they're tasty.
Yeah, and it's not part of that whole, let's get on the Smoke Wagon band. It's not it at all.
Really
it's
good.
just, the product stands for itself. And
we started drinking the straight before the Instagram fame, essentially.
I think because it was available to us.
Yeah, because we're lucky that way. But anyway, 2 thumbs up for me.
Any one of these bottles,
solid
grab
price.
it. You're not going to lose either way.
Not going to regret it.
But don't pay secondary because that's just stupid.
Cheers.
Cheers. And our dog says, it's dinner time, feed me.